everyone, Allegra Miller here to share with you the Astro-Alchemy for April 22nd and 23rd, 2021. I'll be speaking about the astrological aspects and the essential oils that will help make the most of those aspects. For simplicity's sake, I have divided the oils I'll be speaking about relative to the astrology into two categories. The basic category, for those of you that may be just getting started, just got an enrollment kit, that kind of thing, you're likely to have at least one of the following: doTERRA Balance, Lavender, and Adaptive. And in the specialty category, for those of you that have more in your arsenal of support to work with, my top three picks for this category are doTERRA Cedarwood, Geranium, and Cypress. Do keep in mind there is a monumental difference with the brand doTERRA relative to other brands in terms of chemistry, caliber, not only for the therapeutic purposes that I'm referencing here, but much more. If you don't yet have doTERRA, please reach out. I'd love to support you in getting started and along your journey. I've been using, teaching about, and selling doTERRA for over 7 years now. I'm truly passionate about helping people transform their lives with these amazing products. Also keep in mind that not only do I sell doTERRA, I also offer naturopathic consultations, bodywork attunement sessions, and life coaching sessions that help bring in platforms of intention setting, accountability with the most aligned regimen of essential oils and supplements to take your path to the next level. So keep that in mind. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate the continued support in this astro-alchemical journey. I am trying to get these videos out ahead of time, so I'm recording this on the 21st for the 22nd, so you have a little bit of a heads up ahead of time. On April 22nd at 3:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the moon in Leo opposes Jupiter in Aquarius. The moon rules our emotions. Jupiter helps us see things on the positive, on the bright side, gives us a positive outlook of things. It urges us to seek wisdom. Overall, it just helps us to see things with from the glass half full kind of aspect. This transit brings generosity. It's a good time to communicate our emotional needs to those we are in intimate partnership with, or just relationships in general. So whether it's friendships, work relationships, that kind of thing, it's a good time to share our emotional needs. It is a time to be discerning, however, though, about when you're sharing. So there's appropriate sharing and safe sharing, and there's inappropriate sharing and sharing things that are near and dear to your heart with people that may not have your best intentions in mind. And so this is definitely, discernment is very important for this energy. And with part of that in mind, not only for just this transit, but other transits involved in these couple of days, I chose the oil Geranium. Geranium helps with the heart in learning how to open with appropriate judgment. The heart in its learning curve can open sometimes in inappropriate context, and then it gets hurt and it closes, and then it's very hesitant to open up in any other context because of those wounds that have kind of created this trauma. So geranium can help coax that heart to open when it's appropriate, and to learn that it's okay, that those hurts, those wounds are all part of the muscle building process, or the discernment building process of learning. So geranium helps the heart to know when it's appropriate to open, when it's appropriate to stay closed, kind of keep your cards close to your chest, and that the learning process is what it's all about. Geranium is just very nourishing. It's an overall heart balm, but it will definitely help there. Let's see. At 8 a.m., At 8 a.m., the moon in Leo is sextile Mars in Gemini. And this is going to only last a few hours, but overall this transit, with Leo energy being very much showy and confident and liking to step in the limelight, with Mars, which is very action oriented and brings confidence to get things done. Those two speaking in harmony will really amplify passion and drive, and it will be much easier to be self-expressed and have confidence in leadership, not only working with others, but confidence within ourselves as we take actions that align with our passions and self-expression. So really good time if you've been feeling held back or a little hesitant to share your gifts, to push through whatever barriers might be there. At 9:02 in the morning, the moon moves into Virgo. Under the influence of a Virgo moon, we are more in tune with the needs of others and the world around us. Virgo is a mutable earth sign ruled by Mercury. Mercury is the ruler of communication and thinking. Under this influence, we'll notice ourselves being much more attention or detail-oriented, practical, analytical, just more mindful of how things can best be organized, essentially. At 2:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 22nd, the sun in Taurus is speaking in harmony in a trine with this moon in Virgo. This creates harmony in emotions. It helps things flow more easily and more in sync. Home life becomes more peaceful. So I'm going to talk about a couple of these oils. Balance is going to be very helpful in keeping us rooted to the energy of Earth under the influence of a Virgo moon. Balance helps to bring us into the body and utilize the body as a portal for taking our beingness to the next level. So going inward to then go outward on a more what's the word I'm looking for? Harmonious front. It's not exactly the word, but on a more self-actualized front. But balance is just really good at bringing you in your body and working with the body and bringing self-awareness into the body in an actualized way. So I chose lavender because we've got a lot of energy with Mercury, and Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Lavender is very good for communication, specifically communicating from our heart and highest self. So helping to sidestep conditioned patterns and that maybe, have been there for most of our life, but in the process of awakening are one of the last hurdles to go in terms of speaking the self-awareness into existence. Lavender helps to connect the brain with the heart, with the gut, to help that communication be more from your true self, from an undivided place. Lavender I like taking internally. It's also going to be very calming for any of the shadow side of a Virgo moon, which can have a tendency toward being neurotic, too detail oriented, sort of naggy, etc. So lavender will offset that shadow really good as a nerve balm, communication balm. 9:42 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 22nd, Venus in Taurus is forming a conjunction with Uranus in Taurus. This can bring unexpected unfoldings or seeing things from new angles. It's a good energy to put some helpful changes in areas of both relationships and finance. All that Taurus energy. Taurus is it rules creature comforts, home, security is important. So you might just find yourself doing or seeing things differently in relation to things in those departments. Anyway, let's see. At 10:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 22nd, the moon in Virgo is speaking in harmony and trine with Mercury and Taurus. This makes us, again, see things with more clarity and discernment. It helps us make more aligned decisions. It makes communicating our needs. It's a good time for communicating our needs. I chose Cyprus for being under the influence of a Virgo moon in general because Cyprus helps us to go with the flow more readily, adjust, and not hold on so tightly to our rigid thoughts or patterns. Cyprus is just very good at sort of easing into the ebb and flow of life. There's a lot of Uranus energy in this lineup. So anyway, Cyprus will just help you move with the flow. It's really good for the lymph system. It's good for just overall easing into things. Great if you're in transition of any sorts, new job, new home, new relationship, that kind of thing. Cyprus is one to just use topically and aromatically only. Really good on tight muscles. I love Cyprus. Anyway, April 23rd, 2021, the moon in Virgo trines Uranus in Taurus. This can make us more receptive to shifting the ways we do things, hence Cyprus, good for this time. Adventures definitely in the air. Good time to reorganize things, reanalyze things, and we might notice ourselves lacking patience under the influence of this energy. So keep the balance going, take the lavender internally. I chose adaptive for all of these couple of days because adaptive is very good at helping us to go with the flow, be okay amidst change and potentially stressful situations, but also just adapting more readily with life. Adaptive is great topically down the spinal cord, the back of the neck, the wrists. Specifically, it's really good on the web between the first finger and the thumb. And bottom of the feet is another good place. All right, let's see, moving right along. 3:24 a.m., April 23rd, moon in Virgo trines Venus in Taurus. This is a good time to be more in tune with our partners. It will bring more tenderness and more instinctness with being in tune with the needs of others. So overall, that's helpful. 7:28 a.m., Mars moves into Cancer. Whenever the personal planets shift signs, this does affect us more intimately. Mars in Cancer is historically not considered such a great transit. But on the positive aspect, when Mars is in Cancer, it makes our actions be much more emotionally connected. So Mars is going to be less aggressive, but especially if it's connected to the emotions or people that we care about, it can be aggressive. So you might notice yourself being more protective toward those that you love. There can be a tendency with Mars in Cancer to kind of avoid the direct approach. If you look at the way a crab travels, they travel side to side, but don't mistake that for not being quick, because a crab can be very quick. It just doesn't necessarily go direct like Mars might like to do. But especially, again, if there is emotional connection to those things that you're taking action on, it will move quickly, just might not be as direct. But overall, great time to get things done on the domestic front. So that was 7:28 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 11:04 p.m., the moon in Virgo opposes Neptune in Pisces. This is not a good time to be making any major decisions. It's a time to be very mindful of the potential for false perceptions and delusional perceptions of the way people are, or the way a situation is. It can make us more acutely sensitive to drugs, alcohol, overeating, that kind of thing. So be mindful of that. Anyway, that's all I'm going to cover. Let's see. Did I talk about cedarwood? Cedarwood is the oil of tribe. It helps us to feel more connected with, I think I did, but I did a couple of, I started to record this video before, and so I'm not sure if it was in that recording or not. Anyway, but cedarwood is overall really good for working as part of the whole versus feeling isolated, and that's topical only. So let me do a quick overview of all I'm talking about. Cedarwood, balance, and adaptive are all going to be topical and aromatic only. Geranium, cypress, and lavender can be taken internally and then used also topically and aromatically, of course. And then the one oil in the mix that I would be mindful of using topically and going in direct sunlight is going to be adaptive. It's got some things in there that could cause some photosensitivity. So anyway, that's going to cover everything for these couple of days. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for all the continued support. For those of you that have felt inclined to send donations my way, I really appreciate it. I have listed some virtual donation jars in the form of Venmo and Cash App in the description below, PayPal, etc. So thank you so much. I hope to hear from you, and have a great day. Have a great couple of days. I'll see you. Oh, and then also the moon is shifting on April 24th, so hopefully I'll do a video before then, but just so you know, the moon will be shifting into Libra at 11:59 a.m. on the 24th. Thanks. Bye.